Welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to master with Track 5. How to master with Track 5 tutorial. So here are the Track 5 that we have right here. So the first you're going to consider when mastering with Track 5 is to first of all looking into your audio. So right now we have our audio file here. So I'm going to preview this sound so you can hear it. So this is just the beat I made some few minutes ago, so I want to master it right here with Track 5. So the first thing for you to look at is to look at the wave dynamics. So as you can see in this particular wave file, we have some few dynamics right here, some few wave that are taller. So so when we finish a bit like this, we're first of all going to roll off. We're going to bring in our EQ. So I'm going to bring in my EQ right here. So I'm going to roll off some end to remove some muddy, some excessive bass frequency that will make it muddy. So I think that's good right there. Let me preview. So that's really sounding great. I'm just previewing. Then so with this, when you remove the mud in the mix, you have a very good and transparent output, in the sense that your sound will be free for your instrument to express themselves, and your sound can be able to come out louder when you roll off some muddy mix like this. Don't do it too much, just do it briefly. So to give it a little bit more brightness, we're just going to give it some EQ. So I'm going to roll off some more excessive EQ right here. Then I'll just give it a boost a little to add some brightness. Before, after. Wow, beautiful. So I like the way it's settled. So just a little touch, a little addition of change makes a great result. So the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in I'm going to bring in compressor. I'm going to bring in a compressor. Go to dynamic. I'm going to use this compressor right here. So this is a classic Track Classic compressor. So the first thing is you make sure you don't over compress. I'm just going to put a ratio of 2.5. I say 2 point something. Yeah. So I'm going to bring this down a little. So when you watch the dB here, it's just between -3 dB. So at least for you try to avoid not to over compress, so you won't lose the quality of the sound. Just going to give it a little more input. So we're going to compare before and after. So you can see it came up a little. So this is very, very good. So we just what we do with this compressor, what I do with this compressor is to help reduce some of the dynamic, so you can achieve a very good loudness, that is longer dynamics. Okay, so that is what the compressor uses. Compressor is used to do what? To manage your dynamics in every frequency. Okay, so now you just discover that we are rolling off about 1 to 2 to 3 dB, and we just give it an input to help us give us more loudness. So the next thing I'm going to bring in is I'm going to bring in a clipper. I'm going to bring in a clipper. So I'll go to my dynamic and I'll scroll down and I'll get I'll go to orders. And I'll just go get my clipper right here. Okay, good. So this is my clipper. So this button right here, this is your gain to give it an input, and this is your output meter for you to check. This is your gain meter for you to know if your input has reached the threshold. So we're going to put it on right here. So as you can see right now, the clipper has not started working because the audio has not reached the threshold. Okay, so what we're going to do is to give it a gain so that it can help us manage some of the peak level. Okay, so we're going to try that. So you make sure you're very careful not to overdo it so you don't squash the quality of the sound. Okay, so right now we're getting about 1 to 3 dB. So I think least we can have up to 3 dB. So small is better. Before and after. So this button here helps to shaping the sound wave. We have the slope here. So this slope simply means that your sound will not introduce harshness into your sound. But if your sound is on the square wave, there's tendency that you can introduce harshness into your sound. But to be able to give it some slope so that it can sound free and smooth, we're just going to put it a little bit like this. So you can notice the difference, right? Before and after. Beautiful. So what we are actually doing here, if you notice, you see, the smaller you add, you don't overstress any of the plugin. For example, we just did a little of this compressor. So compressor just basically giving us minus 3 dB, and you can see the output was great. So clipper is just is also giving us just basically minus 3 dB. Up to minus 3 dB, at least up to 2 dB, and you're not overstressing the plugin. Okay, so you cannot use one plugin to achieve optimal results. So it is small little enhancement with different plugins that will give you a greater result. You can see this compressor has added an extra quality. I'm just gonna so you can see that's the extra quality. Then the compressor clipper has added a little bit extra quality. Before, after. So that right now we have a great result. So we're just I'm gonna put off these two plugins to see how improved our audio is. You can see it's very down, right? So I'm gonna put the both on back. So you can see our audio is improving. So the quality of our audio is what improving. So the next thing I'm going to do here right here is to bring in a saturator. I'm just going to bring in a saturator. So a saturator helps you to add more harmony to your sound to make it more richer. Remember, during the process of mixing, we have to roll off some end, like we have to cut off some frequencies, and that can make your audio a little bit narrow, not to be very full. So what saturator does, saturator helps to fill in back those dynamic that you lost during the process of cutting out some unwanted frequency during your mix. So dynamic helps to fill in some harmonies to help fulfill your mix. So we're just going to try it out and see how much quality it's going to add. So you can see how much quality it added. So I'm going to put it off. I'm going to on back. So So you can see it has added extra quality. So we have, let's say 2% here, 2% here, another 2% here, and then we begin to have a great result. So the output is going to be very rich, thick, and loud. So now we'll have a very good quality output here. So the next thing we're going to add is limiter. So usually limiter is the last thing you're going to add in your mix to give it an overall gain before you can distribute your song or send it to your client, or before you can send the project to the market. So one more thing I need to explain is, you can see this is a tape. This limiter has different options. This is tape 1. So all this has different harmony that they add, the character of harmony that they add. Maybe this one can add more harmony to the mid-range, high end, and low end. These two can add more, maybe can be concentrating on the bass side, depending how your frequency is, depending the balancing. So if you have a little bit low end, a little bit less of low end, you can decide to choose any of this frequency that has more characteristics of low end, and your low end will be what stronger. So you can just as well experiment it. So in this particular project, I just wanted to experiment it a bit for you to see. So I think this tape 2 actually added some characters to the mid and the high end, so the project becomes brighter. So just going to try out the other one. So this particular Master 6 dB actually added more of a punch and low end. Oh, this one actually added more head. This push-pull actually added. This push-pull actually added. This push-pull actually added. This push-pull actually added a bit more low end. They added a bit more low end. Wow, this class A actually added more low end. Okay, push-pull actually added a little bit more low end. Solid state, it tightens the mix. So okay, this actually added a little bit, not too much harmony. So I think with the help of this meter, you can know how much harmony it's actually adding. You can see it goes between from here to spread up to 0. So here you can give it more gain. So these are just default gain. They have their different, each saturator point has different gain level. So you can see this particular meter can help you measure your gain level. This is a very high gain. You can bring it down. So you can bring it down here. This is your automatic output. They are both connected. You can just, so see if we switch it down. So this is just to connect these two buttons together. When you click this, when you click it, you connect these two buttons together. Okay, I think the output was almost too much and it was almost distorting. Wow, that's too much bass. Yeah, I really like this. Yeah, this is actually fair for this particular project, and it doesn't give it excessive punch, and so that you don't introduce the distortion. So right now we have a very good balancing of our saturator here to help add more harmony, and saturator actually help you to add more harmony to your mix, give it more punch, more wider, and more high quality. Okay, so consider always using saturator on your mix. So the last one we're going to bring in this context, we're going to bring in our limiter. So limiter should always be the last that you're going to bring in. So our saturator too has also added extra quality to the mix, and right now we're on the final stage. So we have the attack here, and so this one actually comes with different style harmony. So you just have to preview and check the one that is suitable for your mix. Okay, this helps my mix to be a little bit more brighter. This option. So you're going to give in your final gain, which is your final output. We are going to increase this input, right? So we can see the ceiling here, our audio is actually hitting the threshold, and the threshold is just bringing down some dB, like about 1 dB, but it's not up to 1 dB. So we have a very high punchy mix right here, and the quality is very, very high. So remember, you can also bring your attack to 0, or depending the audio, you just want to tame it a little bit to manage the shape of the audio. So you can just, I think for me, this one is fair for this project. Wow, you can see this the audio output is very, very big, and it's loud and punchy, so we don't have any distortion right here. So I think this is basically how you master your master in T-Rack 5. So you can check the plugin, plugins that we use, and the plugin chains. We came with the EQ first to help us roll off some low end and some excessive high end. Then secondly, we came with the compression to help us manage some of the dynamic. Then after which we just give it a little gain and added a little bit more quality. Then the next was the classic compressor to also roll off some or contained dynamics as well. These two are actually working on dynamics specifically. So we got to the saturator. The saturator also helps us to put in harmonies, to help us fill in the space in the mix, to help us bring the audio together, to make it look thick and gluing, so that you can have enough punch in the mix. So I can as well just experiment it. So you see, just try it again. You see how light it is, and when I put on the saturator, you see how thick it is. Wow. So finally, we're bringing in our brick wall limiter to help give it the final output. So I'm just going to try test it again. So guys, this is basically how to mix, how to master your project in Track 5. So you can as well use the same master chain in other DAW. Follow the same step by step. Use your clipper and your compressor, your clipper, your EQ, saturator. These are very important plugins that can enhance your audio to be better, to have high input, high output quality. Okay, so finally we are using the break wall limiter to help you shaping up the hair dynamics and give it enough punch. So after which you just go to your project and you export. Just go here, export, then remove your noise cancellation. You can choose any of this option, then go to export. I'm just going to put it in this folder. So GG project, okay, GGH mix down. You can give it your own name. I'm going to export. So it's already exporting right now. So let it finish exporting, then we'll preview the audio. So our project has done exporting. We're just going to check out for the file. We'll come here, right here. So this is our file, and we'll just play. Wow, this is awesome. You can see how sharp and punchy and high quality it is. So I want you to follow the same thing, follow step by step, and do exactly how I do. So make sure you put the plugin chain like this. Remember, we'll have the EQ, compressor, classic clipper, we'll have the saturator, and lastly we have the limiter. So make sure you have the same mastering chain like this, and you're going to achieve the same result I just got. So we're just going to check out this.